Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy. If you're new here on my channel, I talk about random things that I want to talk about. Usually it's pertaining to things about women, black women, pop culture, and I also play The Sims 4 on this channel. As you can tell by the title, we are going to talk about pop culture, but what specifically sparked this video idea? Well, a couple weeks ago, the VMAs happened and the Met Gala happened, and it was awful. And the thing is, I didn't even watch it. I don't have cable, so how would I have done that? When it comes to what celebrities are doing, what they're wearing, you know, when it comes to the stunts they're pulling, trust me, I make sure I'm in the know. And I'm looking on the timeline like, what's going on at the VMAs? And it's crickets. Like, ain't nobody really got much to say. Then I'm looking at the outfits, and the outfits is tragic. Overall, there was a sense of disappointment when people discussed both these events. And it seemed like there was just a lack of creativity when it came to the outfits people chose to wear at both the VMAs and the Met, specifically the Met Gala. Like, there was like a theme for the fashion that people were expected to show up in, and nobody really went with the theme. It was a bunch of oversized coats and black suits and like sequins, and I'm just like, what is going on here? I mean, it was some ugly ass shit, okay? And it really confused me because the celebrities had 2 years to decide what to wear to these events. The MTV Awards had 2 years to plan this award show. Why was it so horrible? Why was it so unremarkable? So as I'm thinking about this stuff, I came across these 2 tweets. The first one was, is it fair to say that the music industry does not have that many stars anymore? That kind of made me pause, and I was like, girl, it's not too far from the truth, I don't think. Then the other tweet was this, and this is a tweet that really sparked this video. The tweet said, "Pop culture is dead, OMG." When I read that, I thought to myself, there is definitely a point there. I think I would maybe agree. I mean, are there any more stars in Hollywood or in the music industry? Is pop culture dead? The answer to that question is both yes and no. In this video, I want to discuss the ways in which pop culture is evolving, why I do believe pop culture is dead, and how I feel it can be resurrected. First of all, let's define pop culture. So when I went to oxforddictionary.com or whatever, it said this: pop culture is modern popular culture transmitted via the mass media and aimed particularly at younger people. Huh? This definition sucks, but most of the ones that I looked at were equally as confounding and just weird. But that's because pop culture is actually a complicated concept, and pop culture itself is always changing. It's probably much easier to define what pop culture is sourced from. Pop culture is sourced from film, television, advertisements, animation, popular music, sports, fashion, books, technology, radio, video games, and the internet. Okay, I am a old young adult, so you define that any way you want. I came of age in the early 2000s. So yes, I am one of God's favorites, in case you're wondering. I saw Britney Spears' rise in real time. I heard Jennifer Lopez say the N-word in the I'm Real remix. I remember the craze over the Titanic. I remember when Air Force Ones had a theme song. I remember when every girl was wearing baby fat and apple bottom jeans. Like, I was there. These amazing, iconic, and disturbing pop culture moments. What I loved about the era that I grew up in was music, movies, television. They all just worked so well together. They were so in sync. We were enthralled in what was going on in pop culture then. We were inspired to dress like our favorite celebrities. When Jennifer Lopez wore that velour, that cute pink velour suit, everybody wanted one of those, and everyone had them, and we all were wearing them in the summertime hot. And I remember when Kelly Rowland was texting Nelly on an Excel program on her phone. That phone at the time was like cutting edge technology. Like, the hottest of the hottest phone, and like we all wanted it, and we asked for it for Christmas. Like, we really were heavily inspired by what was put before us in the media. Now, all of these things to an extent still happen today. Rihanna, for example, is a fashion icon, really influenced makeup culture with Fenty makeup line, and she kind of like brought lingerie to like a younger demographic with her Savage line. Beyonce's lemonade braids that she wore in the Formation video were iconic, and everybody was going to go get their lemonade braids at the braid shop. Trust me, I've seen it. And no one's looked as good as hers, like no one did. And more recently, Nicki Minaj started wearing Crocs again, pink Crocs, and everyone was talking about how they wanted pink Crocs. These are only a handful of examples. Like, honestly, when was the last time you saw a celebrity wearing something either in their piece of media or in their real life and you ran to tell your friends, we all have to wear this? And I mean, obviously, I know we're adults now, but the fact still remains, very rarely do I see celebrities setting fashion trends so directly as they did back then. Pop culture is just more fragmented now. We don't consume it in the same way that we once did. Celebrities and these pieces of media just don't have the same influence that they used to have. And I have 4 reasons why I think that is. Reason number 1, political and civic unrest. Now, in 2016, he who shall not be named was sworn in as president of the United States, and that's when the nightmare began for the last 4 years. In that time frame, it was a lot of upheaval, drama in the White House, and a lot of drama with that administration, and a lot of confusion, and there was a huge surge in white supremacy. White supremacy ran amok between 2016 and 2020, and trust me, white supremacy don't never take a day off. But she was working overtime during that period, child. I was stressed, and it's kind of difficult to focus on what's going on with the latest fashions when you think you might get blown up by an atomic bomb because your president's beefing with a dictator. Like, reason number 2, the pandemic. Okay, so we've been in the pandemic for a minute. We all pandemic professionals at this point. We all can write a book on how to survive the end of the world at this point, I think. But in March 2020, we went into a partial semi-lockdown, and things shifted in our country, and they never, well, really all around the world, but specifically the US, that they've never really completely righted themselves since. You know, so many pop culture events were canceled. Festivals, concerts, tours, shows that were supposed to return to air did not return to air on time because they had to quit filming. So we didn't have that entertainment from the celebrities, but what we did have was some sing-alongs. Yeah, they sang to us, and they had a telethon, and they told us to give each other money. It was weird. It was a dark time. I honestly don't want to go back there. But the vaccine became widely available a few months ago, and so with that, there was this hope that things might get back to normal. But honey, Miss Delta had other plans. So it's still risky for us to gather in large groups. Things that were normally really easy for us have become really hard for us because we don't want to die and we don't want to inadvertently kill someone else. And so with that being said, we are hyper online, and the thing is, nobody has anything to post because nobody's doing anything. We are hyper online. We have pulled away from each other in real life. But an important component of pop culture is the group aspect of it, being able to get together in person and talk about things that we like and things that we don't like and things that we care about. So that whole thing has kind of been lost in the last 2 years. Reason number 3 that pop culture is dead and dying is the influencer to celebrity pipeline. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. The other day, Nikita Dragun tweeted something. She said, influencers are the new celebrities, and she was dragged for it. People heavily disagreed with her, but I kind of feel like she was spilling. Do y'all realize that in order for someone to get into the entertainment industry, one of the questions that is asked, like when you're in the rooms with people who make decisions about that type of thing, one of the questions asked is, how many followers do you have online? This is a real genuine question. We just saw the way that Addison Rae got a leading role in a Netflix movie, all because she has a huge TikTok following. Addison was not the first to segue from influencer to the entertainment industry, and she will not be the last. One of the problems I have with this, I have a lot of problems with this actually, but the one that pertains to this topic is influencers turning into professional actors or singers or whatever just takes away from the elusiveness that is the celebrity. This is what makes pop culture exciting, what we don't know. We want to sit around and speculate about people's lives. That's what makes obsessing over celebrities so much fun. But if you follow this random boy from Minnesota and you've seen him brush his teeth and you've seen him go to Target and buy slippers, you know, he blows up and now he's on whatever movie, are we really gonna be that excited? I mean, there's a sort of excitement there, but it just doesn't, it's not the same feeling that you get, for example, when we first saw Leonardo DiCaprio on screen in the Titanic. We wanted to know about his life. We wanted to know what his mom looked like. We want to know what school he went to. We want to know his favorite color. Like, that is what makes pop culture pop culture. The way that we can sit around and talk about the possibilities. Having an influencer segue into being a celebrity just does not hold that same weight. Like, we know too much about them. And the last and final reason that I feel as though pop culture is dead and in need of resuscitation is, of course, the rise of social media. Social media has become a pervasive part of society. Everybody has an account somewhere. It's not just the kids, it's not just the young adults, it's the old people too. We just had a president who tweeted every day and he was 80. The issue with social media and related to pop culture is that it in itself is becoming pop culture. How often is social media referenced in a piece of work where teens are on the screen or whatever, whether it's a movie or a TV show? How many times is social media referenced? How many times do they show teens on their phones referencing Instagram or YouTube or some other made up social media platform? It's just always there, and it's like, this is weird. Of course, you can't just ignore it, but does it need to be in our face so much, like so in such an obvious way? And look at Grownish. What is Grownish except an ongoing regurgitation of viral tweets? Grownish ain't nothing but a bunch of copy pasted, strung together tweets turned into a script masquerading as a television show. It's corny, it's weird, and it's boring. These television producers nowadays are relying too heavily on social media to give them direction on what to put out. Of course, use it as a way to gauge our interest in a topic or in a subject or in an idea that you might have, but I feel as though at this point they're literally regurgitating our own thoughts and ideas back to us, and it's lazy and it's almost disturbing. Where is the innovation? Where is the vision? Where is the art? It's like all of those things are being sacrificed for all of these safe choices. People keep wanting to make safe choices. Addison Rae was a safe choice, but Addison Rae didn't do anything on the screen for anybody. She did not inspire any of us. It was a money grab. I'm just sick of those. I'm sick of Hollywood doing money grabs and not really telling stories. I mean, capitalism has always had its grips in the entertainment industry, but lately it's getting bad. So pop culture is dead. What do we do? How do we resurrect it? Is it even possible? I would say that it is possible, and in fact, it's happening right now. We're in an unprecedented place in history. We're in the middle of a pandemic that only comes once a century, but also we have social media, and this is something that's never happened in the history of the world ever. Pop culture and the way that it comes about, the way that it's created, it will never be like the way it was. That time period of my life with Britney Spears, Jennifer Lopez, the Titanic, those days are gone, and it will never be quite like that again. But in so many ways, pop culture, the way that it's shaped, is in our hands now. We decide what phone we should buy, not Kelly Rowland. And we decide what is a hot new fit to get and where to get it, not Jennifer Lopez. We decide what actual artists and creators get to have careers through watching them on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. I mean, news organizations write whole entire articles based on our tweets. Like, we are so powerful. With that being said, I think that there needs to be a conscious decentering of celebrities. Celebrities just do not do what they used to do. They just don't give what need to be gave no more. I'm sorry. And I think that there could be a case for the statement that celebrity culture is dead. Celebrity culture is dead more so than pop culture. Pop culture will never die. Pop culture is what is popular. Pop culture is what we're talking about, what we're doing, the things we want, the things we don't, the things we love, the things we hate. That is pop culture. The way that we create it is different, and I think in some ways it's much better. I mean, yes, we get Addison Rays, we get the girls with no talent shoved in front of our faces, but we also get people like Lil Nas X and Lizzo, and those two people would never have careers in any other time in history. The gatekeepers of the entertainment industry have lost a lot of their power, and we've gained a lot of it, and I think that there's something to be said about that. The way that we consumed media and the way that we interpreted celebrities, the influence that they once had over us, it's just over. They're too readily available to us. We're just not gonna have that same feeling that we used to feel when we saw a celebrity back then. We're just not gonna feel the same way about these celebrities. They're not gonna be the center of it anymore, and that's totally okay. And maybe now it's time for us to focus on ourselves. How about, instead of you looking for a star, how about you be the star? How about you be the change that you wanna see in the world? How about that? That's all I have for this video. So let me know what you think. Do you think pop culture is dead? I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.